It's certainly been a minute since I've come to talk to you, and I'll tell you why. It has been, well, one of the reasons. It's been a crazy time, I feel, lately. There's been so much anger, it seems, so much really confusion. A lot of people are losing friendships right now over differing opinions around things, especially around particularly around masks, really. Race factors into this, but so much is happening right now. And for me, for a long time, that was like, whoa, let's just take a step back and see how this sort of shakes out. And it really was a good time for me to take a look inside myself as well. And if you've been having this feeling as well about what's going on, a little confused, what is the world losing its mind? Are people around you losing your mind? Are you losing your mind? Then know that you're not alone. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about here today. So, hello, I am Owen. Thank you for joining today. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. We are live here on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. So, feel free to drop me a note. Let me know that you're here. And I'd love to chat with you. So let's talk about masks. This seems to be a hot topic right now, and it certainly has been for a while. A lot of people have very different viewpoints on masks. Should we wear them? Should we not wear them? Is it beneficial? Is it harmful? Is it government control? Is it being conscientious? All kinds of different things. And I have been very, very, frankly, surprised and in many ways kind of almost amazed to see how many different viewpoints there are. And it's beautiful that people will express themselves in so many different ways about about masks. Even though it's just a small piece of cloth in many cases, the meaning of it is pretty grand for a lot of people. And we'll talk about why. So I'll tell you this. I may not agree with what you have to say, and you may not agree with what I have to say, but one of the beautiful things about this country and the freedoms that we really depend on or that we cherish here is that you have the right to believe whatever you want, and so do I. And I have the right to speak my mind, and you have the right to speak your mind. So I may not agree with what you have to say, but I will fight to the death to defend your right to do it. And it is important that you do that. It is important that you speak your mind. It is important that you stand up for yourself. I will say that in the process, it's a little tough sometimes when that happens because, for me, I've had people who are very close to me, and I've have a lot of distance because of viewpoints about masks and certain other things that have popped up in the race discussion. And I hear stories from friends who are getting unfriended on Facebook over viewpoints on masks and things like that. And that's hard. That's really, really hard when that happens. It's too bad that is sort of what it comes to right now. But I have a feeling I understand sort of why this is all happening and what it is that we're really getting to the core of. So here is my truth around masks and where we're at right now in the world is that we are all, as the human race, being faced with the reality that we haven't conquered nature in the way that we so cockily thought that we had. Right? That we're pretty confident that we as human beings can dictate how nature will operate around us and we will beat it into submission. And here it is now beating us into submission. And this is an argument that we're having with, for lack of a better word, God, right? This is the realization that we ourselves are not totally in control. And that is a horrifying, horrifying thought. Masks represent this. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. What's even more terrifying about the situation is how the shutdown with coronavirus, even though in many ways it has separated us all, we are actually way more connected than we ever were before. Think about it. You are probably more connected with what is going on in Italy right now than you may have ever been before, right? You're more connected with what is going on. You're talking about New Zealand, right? Than you probably ever were before. Everybody on the planet right now is going through everything at exactly the same time. And it is this very strange, unfamiliar experience for all of us. And it also means that we are going to feel everything that's happening. We are all going to go through it together, and there's nowhere else to go. On that note of there's nowhere else to go, we used to have distractions when things got really uncomfortable, when things got up in our faces and we didn't want to deal with them. It was very easy to go out, have a few drinks in the evening and forget about it. It was very easy to just get on a plane and get out of town. It was so easy to just immediately go do something else that could distract from having to sit with whatever it is that's going on right now. And we can't do that right now. We haven't been able to do that for, I don't know, the last long time. We just haven't been able to do it at all. So we're all forced to do this. While we're all forced to take a look at this and then understand that we are not in control of nature, we're basically seeing how everything that we had that's the way it is. We do it because that's the way it is no longer the case, right? You have to drive every day into work. You have to commute every day into work because that's the way it is. No, it isn't. What? Right? We will sit idly by while police kill black men because that's just the way it is. No, it isn't. Right? We will deal with income inequality or what have you because that's just the way it is. We won't deal with it because that's the way it is. No, it isn't. We are all seeing every single day how many things that have been in our daily lives that we counted on and believed that that's just the way it is, and now it's not. Everything is up for question. Everything. That is a terrifying, terrifying prospect. It's horrifying. So what do we do with this? Right? Like I look at my own life even during the day. Sometimes I'm like, okay, understanding that we now have the permission to completely rewrite the book and that we must rewrite the book. What are the things even in my life? And I'm even just cleaning things out of my house that I used to keep around because I'm like, oh yeah, that's just there because that's where it is. Well, no, it's not. I can put it wherever I want. This is the freedom in our situation, right? On the other side of being so upset and broken and pissed off and beaten about how the way things were is not the way things are, or even that shame about doing things a certain way before, or guilt about the way you did things before. On the other side of that is the total freedom to rewrite the book in the way that you see that it should be written. If there's anything that you have ever stopped yourself from doing because you were like, well, I just can't do that because that's the way it is, or I didn't do this or I didn't do that before, and so I can't do it, or especially if it's because someone told you that you can't do it. Now the book is open, right? The gloves are off. The rules are open to being rewritten now. So now is the time to get in there and do that. You basically have two choices at this point then, right? It is that you can howl at the moon. You can howl at the moon about the life that we used to have, the life that you used to have, about the inconveniences that are happening right now. And we all need to do that. And it's also not something that's ever entirely finished. I'll be honest. Like, look, I fall into this myself many times where I'll start to miss the way things were, conveniences or other things that I used to have. And I don't have them any longer. So there is a period of howling at the moon. And if you are feeling like you're under attack and what have you, know that the world around you is also howling at the moon. Guess just what happens. And once you get through that, and then you realize actually that instead of a terrible tragedy, we actually have an incredible opportunity here. Well, maybe not instead of, it is both a terrible tragedy, but it is also a great opportunity. Is to make the world that you believe is right, the world that you want to see. It is important that you do that, and now is the time. Anybody who was around to tell you that you couldn't do it or that you shouldn't do it is probably too busy trying to figure out their own path forward now in this situation. So now is the time. Take it by the hand, right? Get going. Now is the time to share your gift. You have permission, and in fact, you are even required to do it. If you believe that this world needs help right now, and I'm sure that you do, then now is the time. Oh, hey, Ed, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. Thanks for stopping by, man. So, if you believe that you've got something that will help the world, if you are ready to speak, if you feel like you're just chomping at the bit and you've not been able to move forward in the past, you felt like you didn't have the permission or you just didn't have the time, you've got it now. You have it now, and I'm here to help you. So, if this is you, if you have a passion that you believe is going to help the world, we need you so badly. Please, you must do it. Please don't stay silent. Come talk to me. Go to owenjward.com right now. Sign up. Get on the list. I'm going to send you a copy of my book, How to Unlock and Unleash Your Superpower. It will help you break out of the scarcity mindset, which we are all really very much in the grip of these days, and it takes daily work to get past it. But do that. We've got some awesome stuff coming up for you too. If you don't know how to move forward, just go ahead, owenjward.com, sign up. That's your first step. Okay? So stay safe out there. Speak your mind. Don't take it personally when others come at you. Just be true to yourself. And whatever you do, don't stay silent. All right? So thank you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. Have an amazing week ahead, and I will talk to you again very soon.